This video is designed for new patients, but it's also helpful for people who've been around for a while. And I'm trying to explain to you why I'm doing these neck stretches, these big neck stretches where we bend your body around to the side. If you haven't had that yet, it is part of the ABC protocol, and we'll probably broach that subject soon. So, okay, a little anatomy to understand this first. Okay, so we've got some really strong longitudinal up and down ligaments which hold you together really firmly. On the front of the spine here, we've got this one called the anterior longitudinal ligament. On the back side here, we've got another one. This runs down the back of the vertebrae called your posterior longitudinal ligament. And the back here, we've got the ligamentum flavum. Okay, now, these ligaments are really strong, and it's very hard to stretch them and make much difference yourself. Okay, it does require a fair bit of force, and you do need someone who knows what they're doing, obviously, to do this on you. But what matters a lot more than these ligaments is another structure called your meninges. Now, you might have heard of meningitis. Okay, so the meninges are the covering that go around your brain, but they also go like a big long tube along the length of the spinal cord, right from the top to the bottom. And they have, like, they are the protective layer of your central nervous system, and they hold your spinal fluid, but they also have a very strong structural component as well. So along with those other ligaments we talked about, they hold you together, right? Now, if we have a look here, we can see, so at the front here, we've got your anterior longitudinal ligament, the posterior longitudinal and ligamentum flavum in green, and sort of on the green there that we can see the turquoise green running down, that's actually part of the spinal cord. So just on the outside of that, that's where the meninges are, right? Okay, so we can see it here. Here's an X-ray and a specimen next to it. So now the meninges, like we said before, they do play an important structural role, but over time, through injury and through age, if you get a bit of arthritis or whatever, we can damage our meninges. Now, as we do that, they're prone to forming what's called adhesions, or if it gets advanced, even scar tissue, where the meninges, they actually stick to the spinal cord, or they stick or adhere to the bone themselves or the spinal canal. Now, this has some quite bad effects. One, it will stiffen you up and reduce your movement quite a lot. It will mess up your biomechanics, right? So it can give you a lot of neck pain and back pain. It can affect how your body works quite a lot. It can make you tired. It can cause stretch and pull on your spinal cord and give you neural symptoms as well. Now, you can actually get an operation for this, where people actually, they do an operation where they do a laminectomy, they cut away some bone, and they actually cut the meninges in order to give you your elasticity back. That's pretty extreme, and we're not going to go there. So what we're doing is we're stretching you, right? So if we have a closer look, obviously the meninges, now down the middle here, this is the spinal cord running down in that direction. Now that's the white there. Now on the outside of the spinal cord, it's sort of hard to see, but you've got this membrane here. Mind you, this is actually a cadaver which has been dried out. It's not exactly how it looks, but it gives you a pretty good picture. So the meninges would go something like that, okay? Now, if we have a closer look, we can see that there's areas in here where there's scar tissue, and the meninges is actually stuck to the spinal cord, and it's stuck to the spinal canal, the bone itself, and that's going to cause a lot of problems. So what we're doing when we stretch you, we're bending you around to the side, and it's not a neck adjustment, all right? Well, your neck can sometimes pop and click a bit, but the goal of it is to actually stretch and break apart that scar tissue, those adhesions in the meninges, and free you up, right? There's nothing else that can do it. Like I said before, you can't do it to yourself. It takes a fair bit, but what we'll do, we'll start light, excuse me, we'll start light with this, and we build it up and up and up and up. And in time, you'll be able to go further and further and further and further and further until we can break this up from the top to the bottom. You'll feel it in your neck primarily, but as we do it more, like I say, you'll feel it stretch further and further in your spine. I mean, you always kind of feel it in your neck, but you'll feel it go further as well. So I hope this helps explain what we're doing when we're adjusting your meninges and when we're stretching your neck. It's an important part of the protocol. If you have any questions, talk to us at your next visit.